The neon cityscape blazed with an intensity that could only be described as otherworldly. The buildings, towering and sleek, were adorned with lights that danced and flickered in a mesmerizing array of colors. Flying vehicles zipped through the air, leaving trails of luminescent vapor in their wake. It was a city that never slept, a metropolis that thrived on the energy of its inhabitants. The marketplace was a dizzying spectacle of unknown languages and alien faces. Creatures of all shapes and sizes bartered and traded, their voices blending into a cacophony of sounds that was both overwhelming and fascinating. Street signs displayed symbols and scripts that were indecipherable to the untrained eye, adding to the sense of being in a completely different world. I am Agent Smith, or at least that's my cover. In reality, my name is classified, known only to a select few back on Earth. My mission here is of utmost importance, and my true identity must remain hidden at all costs. For 5 years, I've been infiltrating the Xylos Empire, blending in, observing, and reporting back to Earth. Each day presents new challenges and dangers, but I've managed to stay under the radar, gathering valuable intelligence that could one day save our planet. I never quite got used to the 3 suns that painted the sky in hues of violet and gold. Their light cast an ethereal glow over the landscape, creating shadows that seemed to dance and shift with every passing moment. It was beautiful, but also a constant reminder of how far from home I truly was. My mission was simple in theory: gather intel. But in practice it was anything but. The Xylos were a secretive race, and their technology was far beyond anything we had on Earth. Every piece of information I obtained had to be carefully analyzed and decoded, a task that required both skill and patience. The Xylos were a technologically superior race with a rigid caste system and a thirst for galactic domination. Their society was structured in such a way that every individual knew their place, and any deviation from the norm was met with swift and severe punishment. It was a harsh existence, but one that had allowed them to thrive and expand their empire. They were a threat, yes, but also an enigma. Despite their advanced technology and military might, they had not yet targeted Earth. This puzzled our analysts back home, and it was one of the key questions I was sent here to answer. Why had they not yet targeted Earth? Our planet was ripe for the taking, vulnerable, or so we thought. The Xylos had the capability to conquer us with ease, yet they had refrained from doing so. Was it a strategic decision, or was there something else at play? Our planet was vulnerable, seen from the vastness of space as a small, fragile blue dot. The thought of it being at the mercy of an alien race was a constant source of anxiety for those of us on the front lines. We had to understand their motives, their plans, and most importantly, their weaknesses. I adjusted the neural translator implanted in my ear, trying to decipher the cacophony of clicks and chirps that formed the Xylos language. The device was a marvel of human ingenuity, allowing me to understand and communicate with the aliens, but it was not without its flaws. Misinterpretations could be deadly. My heart hammered against my ribs, a constant reminder of the danger. Every interaction, every conversation was a potential minefield. One wrong move, one slip-up, and my cover would be blown. The stakes were high, and failure was not an option. One wrong move, one slip-up, and my cover would be blown. The consequences of being discovered were too dire to contemplate. I had to remain vigilant, always one step ahead, always aware of my surroundings. The fate of Earth depended on it. My work took me deep into the Xylos network, a labyrinth of data streams and encrypted files. I hacked into their mainframe, the digital heart of their empire, searching for their next target. The glow of the holographic interface flickered across my face, reflecting in my cold, determined eyes. Days bled into nights. The pressure was immense, but I was close. I could feel it. Then I stumbled upon it. A file marked Project Genesis, tucked away in a forgotten corner of the Xylos database. My blood ran cold. It contained classified information about the origins of the Xylos Empire, their history, their expansion, and a chilling truth about Earth. According to Project Genesis, Earth shouldn't exist, not anymore. Millennia ago, our solar system was nothing more than a swirling cloud of gas and dust. The Xylos, in their quest for resources, had harvested it, leaving behind a barren wasteland. The data was irrefutable: detailed scans, energy signatures, even geological records of the event. All pointed to the same horrifying conclusion. Earth was an impossibility, a glitch in the fabric of reality, but there it was. A vibrant blue and green sphere teeming with life, defying all logic and reason. How could this be? Had the Xylos made a mistake, or was there something more, something sinister at play? I delved deeper into the Xylos archives, piecing together fragments of information, searching for an explanation. My mind raced, trying to reconcile the impossible. Then I found it. Buried within an ancient text, a single sentence, stark and chilling. The first law dictates that no life can arise from a depleted source. The first law, the fundamental principle upon which the Xylos Empire was built, a universal truth that Earth had somehow defied. The implications were staggering. If Earth existed in violation of the first law, it meant that the very foundation of the Xylos Empire was built on a lie. It meant chaos. It meant war. Section 5. The Weight of Truth. I sat back, overwhelmed by the sheer magnitude of what I had uncovered. The truth. It was a revelation that could not be ignored, a discovery that had the potential to change everything. The document in my hand was more than just a piece of paper. It was a key to a Pandora's box of secrets that had been hidden for centuries. A truth that could shatter the Xylos Empire and plunge the galaxy into chaos. The Xylos Empire, with its towering spires and advanced technology, had always seemed This truth could be the key to our salvation, the one thing that could protect us from the looming threat of invasion. The weight of it pressed down on me, suffocating me. It was as if the very air around me had become heavy, each breath a struggle. The responsibility was immense, and the consequences of my actions weighed heavily on my mind. I felt like Atlas, carrying the weight of the world on my shoulders. What was I supposed to do? The options before me were stark and unforgiving. Each choice led down a path fraught with danger and uncertainty. The control panel in front of me blinked with lights, each one a reminder of the decisions I had to make. I was at a crossroads, and the path I chose would determine the fate of countless lives, reveal the truth and risk galactic war. The thought of spaceships clashing in the void of space, of planets being torn apart by conflict, was terrifying. The courtroom scene played in my mind, a place where the fate of worlds could be decided with a single word. The stakes were astronomical, and the cost of war was unimaginable. Or disappear, protect my cover, and condemn Earth to an inevitable invasion. I was torn. The mirror reflected my inner turmoil, the conflict between duty and self-preservation. The hidden base, a place of refuge, now felt like a prison. I could protect myself, stay hidden, but at what cost? The invasion of Earth seemed inevitable, if I chose this path. On one hand, there was a chance, however slim, that the Xylos would listen, that they would understand. The diplomatic meetings, the discussions filled with hope, were a glimmer of possibility. Perhaps, just perhaps, the Xylos could be reasoned with. Maybe they would see the value in peace, in coexistence. It was a fragile hope, but it was there. On the other hand, there was the very real possibility that they would see Earth as an abomination, a threat to their very existence. The alien council, with their cold, calculating eyes, seemed ready to strike. The advanced technology, weapons poised for an attack, was a stark reminder of the danger we faced. Earth, in their eyes, could be seen as a blight, something to be eradicated. The choice was mine, and the weight of it was almost too much to bear. Section 6. Whispers of Rebellion. Days turned into weeks. I was living a double life. The charismatic Agent Smith by day, the haunted keeper of a terrible secret by night. The burden of knowledge was taking its toll. I started noticing whispers, hushed conversations in dark corners, flickering data streams hinting at a growing discontent within the Xylos ranks. There were those who questioned the Empire's methods, who yearned for change. Could these whispers of rebellion be the answer? Could I somehow use this internal strife to expose the truth, to protect Earth without igniting a galactic war? Section 7. A Glimmer of Hope. I needed to tread carefully. The city was a labyrinth of shadows and secrets, each corner hiding potential threats. Every step I took echoed in the silence, amplifying my fear. The neon lights flickered ominously, casting eerie glows on the metallic surfaces around me. I could feel the weight of unseen eyes watching, waiting for me to make a mistake. One wrong move, and everything would be lost. The stakes were higher than ever, and the margin for error was non-existent. My heart pounded in my chest, a constant reminder of the peril I was in. The air was thick with tension, every breath a struggle. I had to stay focused, keep my wits about me, and trust my instincts. I decided to investigate, to follow the whispers, to see where they led. The rumors of dissent had been growing, and I needed to find their source. The corridors twisted and turned, each one more foreboding than the last. I moved silently, my senses heightened, every sound amplified in the stillness. The whispers were faint, but they were there, guiding me deeper into the heart of the city. I needed to find the dissenters, the ones who dared to question the empire. They were the key to understanding the cracks in the facade. The rebels were elusive, their meetings shrouded in secrecy, but I was determined to find them, to hear their stories, to understand their motives. They were the spark that could ignite a revolution, and I needed to know if they were worth the risk. The deeper I delved, the more I realized that the Xylos Empire was not the monolithic entity I once believed it to be. There were layers of deception, hidden truths that painted a different picture. The Empire's grip was not as unyielding as it seemed. There were pockets of resistance, small but significant, that challenged the status quo. These discoveries fueled my resolve, giving me the strength to continue. There were cracks in the facade, fissures of doubt and rebellion. The Empire's control was not absolute, and within those cracks I saw potential. The whispers of dissent were growing louder, the cracks widening. It was a delicate balance, a fragile hope that needed to be nurtured. The people were beginning to see the truth, to question the lies they had been fed, and within those cracks I saw a glimmer of hope. It was faint, but it was there, a beacon in the darkness. The hope that things could change, that the Empire's reign could be challenged. It was a dangerous path, fraught with peril, but it was a path worth taking. The glimmer of hope was enough to keep me going, to push me forward. Perhaps there was a way to expose the truth, to protect Earth without unleashing chaos. The plan was forming in my mind, a risky but necessary gamble. I needed to gather allies, to build a network of trust. The truth had to be revealed, but it had to be done carefully. The stakes were too high for reckless actions. Every move had to be calculated, every step deliberate. But it was a dangerous gamble, one that could cost me everything. The path ahead was uncertain, the risks immense, but the glimmer of hope was worth fighting for. It was a chance to make a difference, to challenge the Empire's tyranny. And so, with a deep breath and a steely resolve, I stepped forward into the unknown, ready to face whatever came my way. Section 8. The Choice. The weight of the galaxy rested on my shoulders, the fate of Earth, the future of the Xylos Empire, all hinging on my next move. Could I trust these whispers of rebellion? Could I risk exposing myself, risking everything on a hope and a prayer? I had to make a choice. Reveal the truth and face the consequences, or disappear into the shadows, forever haunted by the knowledge of what was to come. My finger hovered over the transmission button, the data packet containing the truth about Earth ready to be sent. My heart pounded in my ears, sweat beaded on my brow. The moment of truth had arrived. Section 9. Into the Abyss. I took a deep breath, steeled my nerves, and made my choice.